Hey, hello. So I just spent a week in a German hospital. I'm still there right now, but I go home soon. And once I shower and relax a little bit, I'm going to tell you why I just spent a week in a German hospital. All right. So I owe you a story. First, I'm going to do something that you've never seen me do on any YouTube video. I'm drinking tea. So 1 week in the hospital, I ended up getting hooked on drinking tea. Someone's gonna ask. This one's a Turkish apple flavor. I'm trying all kinds of different stuff to see what I really like. But I didn't drink tea before primarily because I don't like hot drinks. So up until like just a few years ago, I didn't drink coffee or any of that, and I've been slowly moving over. And actually, this one is still a bit too hot. I'm not too keen on that. Anyway, so back to the hospital. I'm home now for a couple days. Um, why did I end up in the hospital? My appendix ruptured and burst. Well, let's go back. I had a day, the the 30th of April. I was laying in bed feeling sick. On the That was a Sunday. On the Friday, I didn't really party, but like I had some drinks and quite a bit. Like I stayed up until the wee hours of the morning, um, and felt trashed because of that on Saturday. But on Sunday, I was started feeling sick in ways that was not common. Nothing what I was used to with a hangover. Um, Now, in hindsight, I can't really describe it, but yeah, I had some pain. I was sick in ways that was not normal. Monday morning of the 1st of May, I jumped up out of bed. No, I didn't really jump out of bed, but I was woken with extreme pain. Oh, it was so bad. Like someone stabbed me in the guts. Um, and still, I think like I'm still too much of an American because my initial reaction still was not to go to the hospital. I got up, I tried walking it off. I was in so much pain. I don't know if I've ever experienced so much pain before. It was so bad. And after a little while, finally I told my girlfriend, I was like the pain was also moving a little bit. And so I thought, okay, maybe just something needs to come out. Well, little did I know what needed to come out. Um, and I think after, I don't know, it could have been 5 minutes, it could have been 30 minutes. I don't know how I was tolerating this pain. And then finally I said, maybe I need to go to the hospital. And so without her help, I don't know what I would have done because I probably would have kept waiting it out. Anyway, she called she called a doctor and ended up um like over the phone, like they didn't want her to take me if it was not necessary. She ended up having a doctor come to the house, and he kind of just we said what was going on. He kind of poked and prodded me a little bit, and he's like, okay, it looks like it really seems like it's your appendix, so you should go to the hospital. She called for an ambulance, and about 3 hours after the initial pain, I ended up at the hospital. And yeah, they're all saying the same thing, appendix. So yeah, I ended up having surgery on Monday. My appendix ruptured, all that kinds of good stuff. And I spent a week in the hospital. Woo! My thoughts on my experience in the hospital. When they were prepping me for the surgery, like they had given me some painkillers so it wasn't so bad, and they were about to give me the really good stuff, and like two of the prep nurses, like I don't know the difference between, like, there's doctors, nurses, everyone in between, so many people working. One came in and asked me how I was doing, and I was like, oh, I was really bored today, so I thought I'd just come and meet you wonderful people. So I still had my sense of humor, but yeah, an operation. And here, like, I'm not making this shit up. Let's see if I can show you without being too. See, I still have a bandage there. I have one mark here and another over here. The stitches come out tomorrow. So, yeah, they went in the one on the left side. That was the first hole that they made. And they expanded my stomach, went in with a camera to see what they were doing. The other two holes are where they were working. Yada, yada, yada. The worst, like, yeah, the recovery was rough. It went by, like, those following 6 days in the hospital went by relatively quickly. I guess just because of the condition that I was in, and just, I've never laid in bed that much in my life. It was rough. It was difficult to eat anything for a couple days. And I had like a hose, a tube with like a drainage bag attached to me. And that was like going into like the last 2 days, that was really the most annoying part. And even like on the Sunday before I was released, I asked the doctor, I was like, can we take this out? And she's like, no, it has to wait until tomorrow. And I explained, I was like, because when I get up and I'm walking around, I can feel the hose. It was moving around. Like, it wasn't fixed solid to my body. And that was the weird part. But I had a pretty nice, my room neighbor was a nice older guy. Frank, if by chance you ever see this, I hope you're doing well. For the most part, the nurses and everyone that I worked with, if I give like a little review, everyone seemed pretty cool with me. There was one night nurse, though, that seemed a bit like her attitude was probably a bit of a biatch. Just, yeah, like, it takes a special kind of person to work in such an environment, and she seemed like she just didn't want to be there. She was working 2 nights, I think. She wore shoes that were just like heavy clompers. Like, you could hear her walking up and down the hallway. She needs a different job. She didn't, like, with how busy it is during the day, there's no way that she couldn't work during the day. She was just too slow. She worked on her heels, not on her toes. But anyway, otherwise everyone else is cool. Like, I'm not going to say which hospital I was in, but if any of you working there come across this and recognize me, just know that you're cool. especially Birgit. So she's super cool. There was like as I was getting up and moving around, I think it was the Sunday. I was feeling pretty good, and like I had walked down the hall and gotten a tea, and I stopped. I saw her. She stopped, and I guess I was smiling because she smiled back at me, and she's like, "Always smile." She was cool. So there's some cool people there. I wish I could give you like a comparison. I've never spent that much time in the hospital before. So if you want to know my comparisons between the hospital in the US and the hospital here in Germany, the very first thing, and it's technically not even the hospital, it's the ambulance. It would have cost me a lot of freaking money. Even if I would have had some decent health insurance in the US, ambulance ride is so fucking expensive. It's rape. So it was nice to be able to have that option to take the ambulance and not worry the whole time about how I was going to pay for it. Like that's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting to have to stress and worry about that. Like, yeah, this video is just my little story. I don't want to get into so much the topic of comparing insurances and the US being so far behind on all of that. But yeah, otherwise, like, I recognize that, like, because the hospital here is more easily available and the patient is not ultimately paying hundreds of dollars a day to be living there, staying there. There's like some cleanliness things, but I'm just like sometimes I'm overly particular. Like, it just wasn't necessarily as clean, but a lot of that comes down to the cost. And I am totally fine with my bedding having been changed only once, and I'm not paying thousands of dollars to have stayed there, you know? You know what I mean? So that's not such a big deal. Food was okay. For the condition that I was in, food was okay. And I think that they did a pretty good job giving me the food that was necessary and appropriate for me to eat, you know, because like the first couple days it was just like a little yogurt, just very simple stuff, then like a piece of bread. I think for like 2 days they were giving me only like white toast, you call it in Germany, and then I started getting like some full corn. Friday was the day that they gave me the thumbs up to eat whatever I wanted. And for lunch, they brought in lunch, and I was hungry. I opened the thing up, and it was, oh, what was it? It was like a big dish. There was potatoes, cooked carrots, and like a piece of fish, and with a bunch of sauce. And I looked at it, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't had, like, this is real food, not a piece of bread with a slice of meat and cheese, you know, like, this was my first chance for some real food all week. And I looked at it. I think I sat looking at it for minutes, and I was like, at first I was so excited, and then I was like, I can't eat this. This is way too much. And I think I took 2 bites of the potato, a couple carrots, a bite of the fish. It was like 7 or 8 bites total, and I was done. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. In the US, we say that my eyes were bigger than my stomach. It's like, I really wanted all of it, but there was no way. There was no physical way. I felt so bad. Yeah, but oh well. Yeah, but like each day was better. Saturday I was able to eat much more, and same with Sunday, and then Monday I was happy to be home. Yeah. What else? Yeah. So let's see. Am I forgetting anything? Yeah. So overall, nothing special, but I just wanted to share that experience with you a little bit. Oh, the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi was broken. Um, that was really the hardest part. Uh, because like I just got a new smartphone a few weeks ago, and I listen to music via Spotify lately. And I did not save much for my music. I did not have much saved. So without using all of my data, I couldn't really listen to much. That was the hardest part. I think there was like 5 albums that I basically had on repeat. That was really the hardest part because I wasn't able to connect with the Wi-Fi in the hospital. Um, yeah, but now I'm home. Some time away from work, recovery time. Um, it's not going as quickly as I had hoped. However, each day is feeling better and better. So, yeah, that is all for now. And I will do my best to stay out of the hospital for a while. I think that was good enough. So, for now, thank you for watching. If you're new, please subscribe and follow me. Um, Now we've got the Deutschland ticket. I plan on doing a lot of traveling with this. I'm gonna try to do something like at least once a week if I can. Go somewhere, see more of Germany, even if it's just like short trips. So, thank you. Bis nächstes Mal. Tschüss.